Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Breaks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack that only came out just this year in January 2024. It is set number 75372, includes 215 pieces and 9 minifigures if you count the Battle Droids, and retails for $30. The front box art basically shows up everything that you get in this set. Definitely very happy about that, especially considering this is the first time in quite a while we've gotten both just standard Phase 2 Clone Troopers, no ship markings. They're not 501st, not 212, not 332nd, just regular, plain old white Phase 2 Clone Troopers. And even more so, the return of the Super Battle Droid, with this set being my very first set getting any one of those figures, so very happy about that. The top of the box has a 1-to-1 scale image of the clone Shock Trooper, and then the back of the box just shows off the full set in its entirety, along with some of the play features. As you can see, it's got the thumb tags, so we will be destroying this box, opening it up. Oh, and actually, I might not have to do it at all. I'll do it entirely. Nope, I can just. There we go. Alright, so looks like we got 1, 2, 3 bags, and then 2 instruction manuals. There's one for all of the figures and the Republic side of the stuff, and one for the tri-droid. Doesn't really look like there are any ads. Oh, actually there are. One for itself, and then one for the Young Jedi Adventures 4+ set. Specifically the second one, not the one with Yoda, the other one. Anyway, doesn't look like it's going to be too long a build, but I will go ahead and do a time lapse of it anyway, starting right now. Alright, we are done. That took about 10-15 minutes. You guys may notice that there was a bit of a gap in the time lapse. That's because one of the pieces on the speeder here, on one of these little clips, ended up getting lost a little bit for a little bit. I honestly thought that, wait a minute, am I missing a piece? It wouldn't be the first time I ended up with a set that had a missing piece. No, it just didn't want it to come out of the bag, and it took me a while to figure that out. Anyway, it was a fun little build. Let's go ahead and start taking a look at everything, starting with all of those figures. So, first off, we've got ourselves our standard plain old white Phase 2 Clone Trooper. It's been quite a while since these guys shown up anywhere. I think the last time was in the Clone Turbo Tank Microfighter, and you only got one of those guys. So I'm very happy that we get 3 of them here. One downside with these guys is that they've still got the helmet holes, although even though there are no helmet attachments in this set whatsoever, not a one. So it really makes the helmet holes rather redundant, completely unnecessary. This is one of those moments where I really feel like LEGO should have 2 molds for the Phase 2 helmets, one with holes, one without. That way the ones without any attachments can just be just fine with no helmet holes, and the ones that need that have helmet attachments can have the holes. So I think that would be a good compromise for having the helmet holes. Have the holes for the ones that need helmet attachments, like say Rex or Cody, where they have the visor, and then don't give holes to the ones that don't have anything like these guys. Anyway, with that little rant out of the way, this does look like a pretty darn good Clone Trooper. I think with the exception, I've heard that with the exception of this one having a Phase 2 helmet, like the figure is the same one that we get in like the little clone accessory pack from based off the Battle of Geonosis. Notice that came out around the same time as the UCS gunship. So yeah, so if you guys got any of those, this is gonna be basically a copy paste with the exception of the Phase 2 helmet, which that Phase 2 helmet does look pretty darn good. Back print, it looks good as well. And underneath, you'll find the what was the brand new helmet, Clone Trooper face. It's with the original 501st Battle Pack, but has now become the norm of Clone Troopers, which I'm very happy about. I very much prefer this Clone Trooper over the Angry Clone. So, happy to get 3 of these guys. One thing I almost forgot to mention is that these guys too have a little variety of weapons. 2 of them have the standard blaster pistol, and then one has the blaster rifle with the candle attachment. So nice to have a little variety with weapons. And next up we have our Cor Guard, the Clone Trooper. LEGO usually includes at least one specialized Clone Trooper in the Clone Battle Packs. And this is no exception, and I think he's a pretty good one. Like, even if, honestly don't see the Coruscant Guard Clone Troopers all that often, even in the movies. So it's nice that that they don't provide a whole lot in the set. It is nice to have a bit of an exclusive figure. I have heard that this is the same one in the Coruscant Guard gunship. Pardon me. I honestly don't know that, as I don't have that set. But it's a nice rare figure. Plus, if you get a whole lot of these guys, like I said, these guys don't show up all that often in the Clone Wars show or the movies. So even if you get a whole like 3 or 4 of these sets, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility of only seeing 4 of these guys around. I will say I do like all the red markings on this guy, like on the helmet, the torso, the legs. You've got a little bit on the back. It does look pretty accurate to what you see in the movie and TV shows. As you see, his accessories are a Han Solo style blaster pistol and a pair of macro binoculars. And take off the helmet, same brand new Clone Trooper face. So nice little addition to the set, continuing the tradition of a different style Clone Trooper in these battle packs. And next up, we've got ourselves a pair of battle droids. Nothing too crazy, although LEGO did do something interesting with these guys. Ever since they came out with the straight arms, and here the droids have come with one straight arm and one curved arm. But this time they gave the 2 straight arms to one battle droid and 2 curved arms to the other. That's probably so you can have one of them piloting the included staff, which I'll get to in just a bit. But the nice thing is that the 2 is that if you don't want one of the battle droids on the staffs, you can still have the custom of 1 straight arm and 1 curved arm on each droid. You can just do a little flip flop. Although nice addition for the one flying the staff, they gave a little clip on the back so the droid can carry his blaster on his back. Although I do wish that it had been in the tan so it would be fit more with the battle droid. But it's nice that they included it either way. And for our final figure, we get 3 of these brand new redesigned Super Battle Droids. As I said, it's been a hot minute since we've gotten any sets with Battle Droids. So hot that this is my first time getting hold of a Super Battle Droid. I never got any of the sets from Attack of the Clones or any Clone Wars sets that had Super Battle Droids. So it's nice for me to finally get a hold of these guys. From what I heard, the redesign was because of the clips for the arms and especially the legs, as they would tend to break. So hopefully that doesn't happen with these guys. But I gotta admit, I'm a little worried. These guys fit. These clips go on very tight. There is a very audible click when you attach these guys. So I almost wonder if that the same problem might end up returning, which I certainly hope doesn't happen. And because, like I said, it's been a while since we got these guys. If the LEGO finds out that they didn't really fix the problem, we might see these guys disappear again. Maybe even for good. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I do like all the detailing on the on the super battle droid, like like the attachments on the arms, all the detailing on the arms, the ribbing effect going on the stomach. You notice that there is just a little indentation on the left shoulder. That's because there's supposed to be a little red light there, with power light for the super battle droid. So they didn't exactly put any red on there. That might be asking a bit too much. I mean, that is a very tiny spot. Might be difficult to put any coloring there. Same with like the ridge for the eye line, and that might be a bit difficult as well. So, but it is nice that they put that little bit of detail on there. One thing I'm surprised no other videos I've seen on these guys have mentioned is that the face section has been completely redesigned and made more accurate. Like I said, I haven't owned any Super Battle Droids until now, but I have seen quite a few pictures, and the face section used to be wider and shorter, so a bit more stubby. I'll put some pictures up showing you what those look like, and as well as pictures of what they look like in both movies and Clone Wars. So you see that this longer and thinner version is far more accurate to what you see in the movies and the Clone Wars than the previous version of these figures. I'm not really sure how I feel about the whole thing, the whole torso basically being and basically just having a bunch of empty space. Not sure how I feel about that, but for a full-on redesign of the Super Battle Droid, this is pretty darn fantastic, and very happy that you get 3 of these guys. One thing I am a little disappointed about is that all the versions are just the regular arms. We don't get any with the arm cannon. Hopefully we'll see that in the future. But again, very nice to see these guys return. Alright, now that we've taken a look at all the figures, we'll take a look at everything else the set comes with, starting with the Republic side. First off, we got this small little 2-piece container. Inside you will find a pair of thermal detonators. The instructions only shows you putting in one, but it does come with a second. And as you can see, I can put the lid on just fine, even with both of them in there. Well, depending on how you've got your detonators in there, it's just fine. But there you go. You can basically just stack them on one on top of the other, and it'll go in just fine. Next up, we've got a small little barricade with a turret. These shields are kind of somewhat removable, and taking a look on the inside, you can find clips for weapons, or if you got your shock trooper in there, you can put in his pistol, his binoculars, and they'll sit there just fine. And you see they got one of the new stud launchers in there. This time in the holdable weapon version. So if you want, I guess you can just have the barricade there and have your trooper carrying a very large weapon. And as it is a stud launcher, you see that it does have. I do have one of the studs in there. The set does come with quite a few extras, so just in case you lose any. Even better, considering we have a speeder with, again, a pair of stun launchers on the side. I'm pretty sure this speeder is supposed to be an homage to the speeder from the very first Clone Trooper Battle Pack. Although I can see why in some other reviews I've seen that say it looks a bit kit bashed, almost like it's built from extra parts from a set. It may be an homage, but it's not exactly an homage done well. Like, for example, in the original, they used the classic Star Wars X-wing blaster cannons to make the extensions here, the blaster cannons. Here they're fully bricked, put together from other parts, and it just doesn't make it just doesn't have same look, same style, and just doesn't look as good either. As you see, it does hold two, so you can go ahead, put one guy in the pilot's in the pilot seat. You can put another in the back. You'll notice that there are two spots for blasters, so you can act as your other guy can act as a rear gunner. I don't know why, but with my set, one of my blasters feels a little loose in there. It comes out a little too easy. I tested it with both of the attachments, and it's loose either way. So it's the So I know it's the blaster, not the place you're attaching it. I don't know what's up with that. It was one of the first times I've ever had that happen. But yeah, they both fit on there, and it works pretty well for. It's obvious they were. I think it's pretty. Like I said, I think it's pretty obvious they were going for an homage for that original clone battle pack. I'm just not sure it was done as well as it could be done. So that's all you get with the Republic side. Let's move on to the Separatist side. So, for the first up for the Separatists, we have ourselves a wonderful looking Separatist colored staff. It's about as simple as you could ask for, but it is wonderfully done. There's almost no studs whatsoever showing, with the exception of I believe these are supposed to be the engines, these megaphone slash Star Wars classic Star Wars blaster pieces. Other than that, it's gorgeous. It's simple. It's wonderfully done. It's got a nice transparent stand to give you the impression that it is hovering. Let's go ahead and get into one of the battle droids on there. I still got one with both the curved arms, so he'll hatch on there just fine. And just grab onto the handles like so. There we go. And get him in a... There we go. Alright, that's more I like what you see for a staff for a battle droid on a staff. Yeah, he looks wonderful. This is this is a nice version of the staff, about as good as you can ask for. Or in a set this size, or in a set for that matter. This is probably one of the cleanest I've ever seen. So yeah, nice, wonderful addition to the set. And for the final build, we have I believe it's pronounced Octu Patara class Separatist tri-droid. I probably just butchered that name, so I'm just gonna stick with tri-droid. He's a pretty good build. Here's a super battle droid for scale. So yeah, he's a pretty big boy for a $30 battle pack. One thing I will say is I'm not really a fan of how they did the head. You probably noticed a couple times in the time lapse of the build that this piece is hard, and the top of the dome is hardly attached at all. Basically, do is you have to line up the two notches to get it to stay where it is. Otherwise, it won't go on. And it's just, there's really nothing keeping this thing from coming off if it gets knocked off. But I think that's done in a sense, so you can just take a look at the top. One thing everyone's noticed in this set is that they gave this thing a droid brain. It's in this like iridescent, like either pink or purple, and you take a look at it, you can kind of see some blue speckling in it. So interesting, rather interesting. So yeah, a nice little feature, but I think it kind of it's not really well done. A well done way to do the feature, as like I said, this thing just is constantly coming off. You knock it off, there's no way it's staying on. Other than that, the build is pretty well done. You can rotate the head a full 360 degrees. It's much like you see in the Clone Wars movie and TV series, where the head switches around which gun it's using every 2-3 shots. Giving it time to either cool off or reload. Also, now right below that, you see a triple doggone, why are these flip fire missiles? I lost the word there. Anyway, then the flip fire missiles. none of the other missiles get in the way of each other, or they work just fine. And then legs, mainly the build for legs is a little monotonous since you're doing the same thing 3 times back to back, or as I did in my time lapse, one step 3 times before you move on to the next step. But they look pretty well. There's a good friction in them. They are quite pulsable. As you see, there's actually 3 points of articulation there. One up there as what you could call the hips. One at the first knee, and then the second knee. I guess you maybe could call it the ankle. This whole section here could be considered the foot. But I think this is only the second time Lego's done a tri-droid, and they've never done a full minifigure scale tri-droid. But I can kind of see why. It'd definitely be top heavy. Plus with the 3 legs at rather awkward angles, I could see it being a bit difficult to get a full minifigure size. He's a tri-droid to be able to stay standing up. But other than this, I think the only other time they did a tri-droid was with the Utapau Troopers Battle Pack with the 212. But yeah, for only their second time, they did a pretty good job with this guy. I've got, with the exception of that top constantly coming off, I got no complaints about this guy. And here are all the extra pieces. Like I said, there was an extra thermal detonator, but I got that at the grade. Other than all the extra studs for the stun launchers, the main pieces that jump out at me is an extra blaster pistol, one of each of the extra battle droid arms, one curved, one straight, and an extra lightsaber hilt, which are used as the blasters for the stab. Also another stud launcher trigger. So that is everything that's in this set. Let's go out to my final thoughts. Alright, so what did I think about this set? Honestly, I would give this a solid 8 out of 10. This is a pretty wonderful $30 battle pack. One thing I remember people saying about the $30 501st battle pack is that it definitely was focused on the 501st. Well, when you got the 3 501st troopers, the jet trooper, AT-RT, and speeder against just 2 B1 battle droids. For a battle pack, it's definitely a battle that's definitely one-sided. This one definitely feels a bit more even. You got a good amount of troops on both sides. Both have a couple good builds. This is a wonderful battle pack. This is a great way to bump up both a clone and a droid army. The return of both the plain Phase 2 clone troopers and the super battle droids are certainly a welcome addition. I doubt anyone's going to complain about that, with the exception of the helmet holes for the clone troopers, where they really don't need the holes. Other than that, it's a wonderful set. I definitely recommend this to anyone who is interested in Star Wars or is just wanting to bump up either their clone or droid armies, because this will do great for both. So, that is my review for this set. Thank you for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. You can check out my channel and see more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I'll see you all in the next video. Later, everybody!